Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the April 2020 monthly reading for the sign of Leo. And just keep in mind it is a general reading, so this may not apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at your other placements in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars signs at this time, and look at which corresponding zodiac signs you have in those placements, and take a look at the video titles because there may be a particular one that stands out to you or resonates with you at this time. So let's see what the month has in store for you, Leo. Yeah, sorry about the noisy motorbike out there. There's always one really noisy one that comes by just when I start a reading, which is perfect. But yeah, hopefully we won't get much more of that. So I'm just going to go ahead and get the general layout for you first. I am using a Celtic cross style spread using the Waite traditional deck, but also the intuitive to clarify further. Now, so once I get these main energies for you, I'll go into what each card represents, and then we'll clarify further to see, well, just get more insight as to how this applies to your circumstance. Alright, so Leo, to begin with, in regards to your present circumstances, you have the Eight of Wands, okay? So your element, fire, this is Leo, Sagittarius and Aries energy. This discusses obstacles, challenges, incoming communication, sudden communication, possibly even sudden movements, something unexpected coming in, right? So it could be that you find yourself in a situation that you hadn't anticipated. It could be that you find yourself opening up to communication in a way that you're not usually, you don't usually, or you're not used to communicating in that particular way or using that kind of terminology or speaking so forthcoming, particularly if it involves anything to deal or that deals with your emotions, right? So it could be something of that nature, or simply that something unexpected is coming in, but we'll look at that when we clarify. Your challenge is the Three of Cups. So I feel like it's seeing the positives in a situation. So there may be some challenges that arise from whatever the circumstance that's coming in that's unexpected, or you may be taking an initiative and going after something that it is you truly want, and you may not necessarily get the answer you were seeking, or you might not get all of the answers to your questions if you have a lot of questions surrounding a particular matter in your life right now. But it's being able to see the positives within the situation, see the blessings, the good things, right? And that's what you're being asked to do at this time, that regardless of the outcome, it's really important that you look at the positives, the things that are good in your life, the things you have to celebrate, not focusing on the losses, right? In regards to your recent past, you have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, okay? So Earth energy, Cancer, where did Cancer come from? A Capricorn is what I meant to say. Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. So yeah, this is talking about where you may feel like you lost out on an opportunity, or there was something that maybe was handed to you, or you had some kind of shot at going after an opportunity that you feel that you missed, or you may have dropped the ball on something where it could have brought a lot of good fortune into your life. Possibly you feel like you rejected an offer. Could be in regards to work, relationships, travel. It could be pretty much anything, but I feel like there was a significant offer that was on the table. I don't think it was something that you feel like you missed out on, that didn't happen for you even though you went after it, but it could be. But I feel like for the majority of you who's reading this is something that you may have initially dismissed and regret doing so, okay? But we'll look at that when we clarify. But for some of you, it is something that you was hoping for and it didn't quite come to fruition, okay? In regards to your near future, you have Justice, the card of Libra. This is balancing the karmic scales, give and take. So there may be a situation where if you felt like, because I feel like this does correspond to this Ace of Pentacles here. So if it felt like you were cheated in some way, or something was not fairly rewarded to you, or you missed out on something marginally, or you feel like you were just kind of overlooked in some way. I feel like there is something else that's going to come in as a result. There's going to be some, like I said, unexpected circumstances, unexpected change that's going to come in very fast, and it's going to give you the opportunity to balance things out. I think for some of you where you felt like you maybe overlooked something that you shouldn't have, you'll have an opportunity to possibly make it right in some way. It might not be in the same way that you initially planned, or in regards to what was being offered at the time, but you want to somehow make it balanced and right. You want to make things right is what I'm getting. Okay. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold. I was actually getting over this finally, and now my nose is running again, which is perfect. Anyway, moving on. So in regards to your feelings at this time, you have the Judgment card, okay? So this is really talking about, I think you feel like whatever circumstances are playing out for you in this time, in regards to particularly what this situation is, you may feel like on some level that it's your just desserts, that you're getting whatever you're getting at this time. I think the good things that are in your life, I think like you deserve them. I think the things that are not quite working out, maybe you feel like you self-sabotaged in some way, and that's why it didn't work out. So you're kind of understanding your part in these things, right? You're kind of accepting responsibility, I think, at this time, of where you did your bit and brought, good fortune into your life, or did something positive to help others. And you're also understanding where you may have fallen short because you were not willing to do something, you were not willing to take the time to read into something, that you may have dismissed something, or perhaps you didn't go about something in the most positive way, and the consequence is what it is now. So you're seeing it for what it is, and you're accepting your part within that. Okay. So you may have been a bit reluctant to do that before. You may have felt like, oh, well, they should have done this, or they should have told me that, or they should have brought this, or, it's not on my shoulders, or it's not all on my shoulders. But either way, I feel like you now, rather than pointing the finger or just kind of acting like a victim maybe, or even acting like, you're oblivious to certain aspects, I think you're kind of taking responsibility where you feel you need to, pretty much. Okay. And in regards to what's crowning you at this time, you have the Tower, okay? So big shake-up coming up, right? Something drastic is about to take place. Probably when this communication or this situation that comes in unexpectedly, when that happens, this is going to trigger the fall of the Tower for you. But I feel like this is what's coming, this is crowning the whole reading, okay? This is the energy of the reading. So, you've got a big shake-up coming up either way. So it may force you to look at things differently. It may force you to take action in a way that you don't, like I said, like you don't usually. You may communicate something in a way you would never do that before, because something has kind of forced your hand to do so. So where you may have been a bit complacent, just biding your time, the universe is intervening and forcing your hand, essentially, to take action on a situation. In regards to the advice, you have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So I feel like, it's saying, look, what is your game plan here? Like, you're not really looking at long-term gains. You're not looking at future happiness, or was even necessarily taking steps now to bring you towards the happiness you're seeking, right? And it's like, if you don't act now, how can you consider a happy future anyway? Because there's certain things you're not doing now that can even give you a hope of getting this vision that you have for yourself. Whatever this 10 of Cups energy means for you, there's certain steps you need to take in order to get there. You don't just go from the 1 to the 10, it's the whole process, it's a journey. So you need to start taking the steps and thinking seriously about what this 10 of Cups looks like to you if it was in the upright, right? Is it a family, settling down, having a family? Is it traveling and exploring the world? Is it creating a business for yourself, a name for yourself? Investing in a really heartfelt project? You know, is it spending more time with your friends and family, your loved ones? Whatever it is, that's what you need to start looking at. In regards to your external influences at this time, so the things that are surrounding you, this can be people, situations, circumstances, you know, your environment. You have the Two of Swords in reverse. So I feel like you're kind of maybe feeling like you're stuck in the middle. You feel like there's a bit of tug of war going on, and you know, you've got two different energies pulling you in different directions, and you're not sure what to do. You feel very much trapped within it, even though the reality is you're not, and that actually you've probably already made a decision in your mind's eye. You just haven't confirmed it in the physical, but possibly when this communication comes in, that's when you'll do so. Okay, so regardless of whatever's trying to pull you in which way or that way, regardless of whoever's telling you to do this, that and the other, I feel like you are going to make your own decision, but you're just you're not saying anything right now, and you're kind of allowing yourself to be pulled back and forth. Even within yourself, I feel like your energy is kind of pendulum between you know, one thing and the other, like one decision and another. And, you know, what you feel is going to be right, it's going to make the situation right, but also what you feel like you just want to do because it's easier, or because, you know, then you don't have to take any responsibility or put anything in motion that's going to potentially make you vulnerable in some way, right? Or having to admit some mistakes or go after something because you feel like it should just fall in your lap. Things of that energy, right? So you're kind of going between those two things, but you know what you need to do, and that's what I feel like you're going to end up doing in the end. In regards to your hopes at this time, you have the Two of Cups in reverse. So I feel like you're not really looking for, I don't think, if you're not in a relationship or you're not in a business partnership right this time, because maybe that was offered to you, maybe a business partnership or a relationship was offered to you at that time, is something I don't feel like you still want. I think you want something, I think you want to feel connected to someone, but I don't think you want anything serious, right? So I feel like maybe you want some mentorship or some good ideas, or be able to bounce ideas back and forth with someone in the business sense. But you don't want to you don't want to solidify like a business partnership. You don't want to sign contracts or anything of that nature. You just kind of want someone that you can bounce ideas off, and that's it. You know, you're kind of trying to play it like risk-free, essentially. Same within a relationship context. Like if there's someone that you know you have an emotional connection to, you're refusing to engage in that because you don't want to have to deal with the emotional aspects of it. You don't want to have to deal with any consequences, probably because you've already rejected it once. So you don't, like, you just want to kind of stick by your guns that you don't want this, and it's not something that you feel is worth investing your energy into, or maybe you feel you can't invest your energy into. You just want things to be straightforward, simple and light, I feel. And in regards to your fears, you have the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. So you may be afraid that what you're telling yourself what you want is not actually what you really want. Because you're afraid of, like, if you go after what you truly want as well, like if you were to suss it out and really get to the heart of the matter and to speak freely what it is that you want, you're afraid that it's only going to lead to very negative sets of circumstances, that it's actually not the right decision. Even though what you're speaking to be the right decision, or you're putting in your mind's eye as, yeah, this is what I want, this is what I'm going to do, this is the right thing to do, it's not aligning with what you actually feel, what you actually want, right? But maybe what you actually want is tied to something that you feel is toxic, is negative about yourself, right? Maybe you feel like it's something that just appeases your ego. Maybe you feel like it's something that you only want because it's going to bring you into a higher social status. You know, for example, if you're trying to connect with someone on a business level that can help you, you know, gain investment or something like that. Maybe you're just trying to use this person to get you into certain circles, or get you, a decent investment. Or maybe you feel like if it is in regards to a connection, it's more lust filled than anything else, or it's more about how this person makes you feel rather than how you actually feel about this person. So it's something to think about for sure. I mean, however way it applies, it's worth considering that and addressing that, because if that is the case, then maybe it's not right to go after it. Maybe you need to challenge that aspect of yourself and why you look at it that way, and how you should be really operating in that space, right? And then in regards to your overall outcome, you have the Hierophant in reverse, Taurus energy. So yeah, I feel like overall, I feel like you're just like, this is the possible outcome, right? So just keep that in mind. But I feel like you're having to really battle yourself this month, Leo. You're having to go within and really get to the nitty-gritty details of what it is that you want, why you want it, how you plan to obtain them, what you're being shown at this time. Is there something you're overlooking? Is there something you're not wanting to face about yourself as well as the situation? Are you listening to sound advice? Possibly you're not. Possibly you're not listening to the messages or seeing the messages that are coming through from the universe at this time. Maybe you're overlooking some important information that could help you make the right decision, or a positive decision that's going to help you move forward in a much lighter and more authentic way towards a goal, right? So this may be the most important card of the deck for you in regards to this reading. It's encompassing all of these messages and saying, listen, you need to check yourself and check that what you're seeking and the way you're approaching it is coming from a good place, your higher self, and not from the needs of your shadow self, right? Because that's only going to bring more of this toxicity into whatever it is the situation is. Okay, so let's clarify then. Clarifying the Eight of Wands. Actually, I'm going to do what I've been doing for the other signs and just bringing out all the clarification cards first and then going into them, because I think it just saves a lot of time rather than doing it one by one. So now I can just get straight into it, right? Alright, I think that's everything. That seems to be what wants to come up, so let's go ahead. So, regarding your present circumstances, clarifying the Eight of Wands here, you have the Two of Swords in the upright this time, the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords. 2 5s, 55 may be relevant to you at this time. Sorry, bikes again. It's just this kind of road. So you've got 2 5s, 55, okay? So that number may be relevant to you at this time. If you see any signs in relation to that, take a second to consider what that may mean to you. But here, what we're seeing is, okay, I've been stuck trying to make this decision for so long that I'm just going to do it pretty much. I know there's a good chance that things are not going to come my way, that I'm going to be rejected. There's a good chance that it's going to cause a lot of confusion for the other person involved as well, because they may not see it coming. And you can take this vice versa as well. This could be in relation to whoever you're dealing with coming forward towards you and you being confused and a bit like, what the hell? Like, you rejected my offer and now you're trying to tell me something else? Like, I don't understand. So this could be you that becomes confused by whatever this is that comes in the situation of the communication. Or this could be the other person, so take it however it will resonate. But either way, a decision had to be made, something had to be done, because the energy was just stagnant. And we know that regardless of everything else that's going on astrologically at the moment, the fact is we are in Aries season, okay? And with the energy of the Aries new moon still kind of lurking, faintly in the background. Yeah, now is not the time for complacency, even though, everything else in the world kind of suggests otherwise right now. There's still going to be certain things that come in really fast. Quick communication, ideas, flying by, being communicated very rapidly. Lots of communication. I feel like it's more communication than action at this time, because obviously everyone's kind of stuck at home anyway. So I feel like for the majority of you, it'll be in the form of communication, right? And it's going to confuse the hell out of someone. Someone's going to be confused by it and be like, but I was rejected, or I was left out in the cold, or this didn't go well last time, and I was the one that had to pick up the pieces. And now you're telling me this, like, where do we go from here? Or you'll be communicating, or they'll be communicating that, it didn't work out last time, or this didn't come together, or, you didn't like my idea, so why should we go down this route again? That kind of thing. So, like I said, it's going to be different from each and every one of you. So, in regards to your challenge, crossing that situation, the Three of Cups here, water energy, you have the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Cups, right? So that's an interesting combination. So yeah, it's trying to see the positives in it. It's trying to communicate as well where things went awry, where things didn't quite come together, admitting your mistakes, admitting your pitfalls, admitting where you didn't take action, where you should have done. And again, this could be the other person, so just take it however. So whoever this is for, communicating, where they kind of became stuck, complacent, caught up in their head, didn't really take the right steps, didn't communicate clearly what it is that they wanted. And now speaking from the heart, going after what truly makes them happy, And like I said, by drawing on the positives, first admitting where you went wrong, and where the connection or the opportunity was missed. You can then focus on the positives, and address what it is that you do want, and communicate that straight from the heart. And from there, you can make it about the positive, about taking positive steps forward, rather than dwelling on what went wrong or what didn't come your way or whatever it is, okay? So clarifying your recent past, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, you have the Page of Pentacles, so more earth energy, and the Page of Cups, water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So that's an interesting combination, right? So that tells me that there was something that was being offered that was really stable. I feel like something that was going to be quite stable in the long run, maybe not initially, but yeah, something that would have led to stability, something that would have led to a lot of love being given in the relationship. For those of you who this was a romantic connection, that was either you felt like you was trying to offer this and it was rejected, or someone else tried to offer this and you rejected it. Whoever was rejected or wasn't given the chance to open up in regards to these feelings, they were sincere and they had something significant to bring to the table. Sure, they wanted to start light and small, but they really felt something, and they really did want to build, I feel, with you. Or vice versa. You really wanted to build with this person, but something went awry. This offer was not taken. It was not accepted. For those of you who are trying to go after something career related, or something to do with a business partnership, or starting or going after a project or pitching a project, I think it was something that was very heartfelt to you. It's something you really truly believed in, with all your heart. It's something that you really wanted to take the time and invest in and build from the ground up. But someone, whoever you pitched it to, whoever you tried to get on board, did not see its potential in the same way that you did. So they weren't willing to invest the kind of money, time and energy into it as you were. And that obviously would have really upset you at the time, I feel. In regards to your near future, the Justice card here, Libra energy, you have the Sun in reverse. So this is your card, Leo, okay? And you have the Eight of Pentacles, okay? So, yeah, interesting combination. So that tells me that basically, because of the way the situation went down, and depending on the way the person who felt they were wronged responds to the situation, you may or they may not get the outcome that they hoped for, right? But in that, it's going to teach you something or teach them something, you know. And it's a direct consequence of this situation, the way it's been handled so far. So someone, I feel like, is not going to get the answer that they hoped for. I'm just being honest. Someone is not going to get the answer they hoped for. With the Eight of Pentacles, that's only going to make them more determined to work on themselves, though, as a result. So it's not actually a bad thing necessarily. I feel like this second, or the rejection that's coming from the other person, so the shoe's on the other foot this time, right? Hence the Justice card, balancing the scales. Where this person rejected in the past, or was dismissed in the past, will be the one rejecting or dismissing this time. That will give the person who initially rejected their offer or idea a moment of pause, and really pushes them into this energy where they think, okay, well, obviously I need to do the work. I need to make sure that I have everything that I need to bring this, you know, in solid form to the table, right? Like I need to make sure that, you know, whatever I'm trying to create, I am capable of delivering the goods, right? Particularly if this is related to a business idea or anything of that nature, a career, something you're trying to advance in. You're going to work extra hard to make sure that you have the skills to pay the bills, essentially. For those of you where it's a connection, I feel like that's going to make you just work on yourself more. You're just going to be like, okay, well, you know, I've already been working on myself. I've already been trying to take steps so that, you know, I become the best version of myself. I'm going to keep focusing on that. That's going to be my priority. And who knows, maybe I can approach them again in the future when I feel like I'm ready. And maybe they'll be more willing to listen to me this time, or maybe they'll understand that I have what it takes this time. Okay. So clarifying the Judgment card here in the position of your feelings. You have the Tower in reverse. So it's interesting, you got it in the upright as the thing that's crowning you, and you've got this clarifying the Judgment in your feelings right now. And you have the Five of Wands. So you've got 3 5s now. Like that 5 is a powerful number. That tells you that things in your physical reality are changing, and they're changing fast. Definitely, I feel like this communication is playing a big part in it. That's gonna change this like on a whole nother level. So 3 5s, okay? So something big is changing in your reality. Things are not going to look the same. You know, your situation is changing. Your life is changing, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I feel like you've been fighting with yourself a little bit of how to fix the situation. Like, you're aware of where you went wrong or where you may have played some hand in the situation, but now you're really confused and conflicted about how to fix it. Like, how do I make this right? Because I feel like that's very important to you at this time. Like, how do I make it right? How do I change this? How do I make it better for myself? How do I make it better for the person or people involved? You know, how do I balance the scales, essentially? Like, what is it that I need to be doing? And you're very conflicted about how to approach that. You may even be having, like, this inner dialogue and chatter in your head where you're just, like, conflicting ideas and different things that you want to do. And one minute you might be like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to leave it. And you're like, no, I can't leave it. Like, this is not okay. I need to change it. And you're just like, fuck, like, I don't know what to do, right? So you're very much, like, just at odds with yourself right now, I feel like, over this situation. And how the hell I can even fix it, right? So clarifying the Tower in the upright as your crowning energy, what's within your power to affect, you have the Four of Swords. So this is all about, you know, taking a moment's pause to heal, right? So this, whatever this is, you know, whatever this tower is, it could be something that's already happened, but I feel like the first tower has already come down, right? This is what I'm getting from this. Bikes, man. So I feel like the first tower has already come down. I feel like you're trying to address how to rebuild the second tower. However, I feel like there's a second tower moment now about to take shape, right? That's going to completely change how you look at this situation, completely change how you move forward, because, like I said, your life is changing drastically. You know, it's heading in another direction. So with that in mind, you're then having to take a moment to reflect and pause and heal, because you're like, oh my God, like I said, I don't think necessarily you're going to get the answer you hoped for, or whoever that person is that's trying to fix this situation. You're going to get hit with another tower. I'm just being honest, I'm sorry. You know, you're going to get hit with another tower and you're just like, fuck man, like I just need to retreat. I just need to go home and chill my face and just detach for a minute from this situation, because like it's too much. Like it's just too much. So you're going to take a moment out to just heal from that, right? From that initial impact of this second tower getting hit and falling, right? Gosh, that sounds like that sounds like 9/11. Wasn't trying to make it, you know, that kind of analogy, but I guess it's a bit like that. You're having like that 9/11 kind of moment where the second tower gets hit and you're just like, fuck, like how can this happen again? Like I just saw this tower fall. I'm trying to deal with that, the aftermath of that, and now this second one like takes a hit. Like what the fuck? So it's gonna be heavy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's gonna be heavy, but you have what it takes to heal from this situation, and that maybe this second tower falling was necessary so that you do look at things from a different light, so you do change how you go about things moving forward, so you don't get caught up in this same situation again, that you're not so quick to dismiss something that could be very beneficial for you, or you're not so fixated on one particular thing to be your happiness when, you know, it can possibly not come together, right? So just keep that in mind. So clarifying the 10 of Cups in reverse here in the position of your advice, you have the 7 of Wands, so more fire energy, your energy. So yeah, you're being asked to like kind of, you know, drop that guard down a little bit. It's like, what do you feel like, what is it do you feel like you need to protect yourself from, right? Because, you know, being in this space of like being kind of dismissive, or, you know, refusing to let someone in that could be very good for you, or refusing to let love in general, or refusing to let someone in that can help you to expand your business, to expand your idea, you know, not willing to allow help in where it could be necessary for your path that you're trying to embark on. It's not going to bring you anywhere close. You know, sometimes you have to be willing to drop your guard a little bit. You have to be willing to be a bit flexible, be a bit open, explore ideas with others, not only listen to your own, you know, and just understand that not everyone's against you, not everyone's your enemy, that actually there could be people that have a lot of love to bring to the table, a lot of positivity, or a lot of support, right? So take it however it resonates. So don't be so defensive. So in regards to your external influences, the 2 of Swords in reverse, you have the Magician, okay? So this is really talking about mastery of self and knowing of self to the point where you can actively change the outcome, right? You start to alchemize the situation. You take the key ingredients that is needed, you know, so the things that you need to bring to the table, the awareness you have, the learning that you have from the past, you know, bringing your sincere wishes to the table, and then acting accordingly with all of that, then you can change, right? Change how this plays out, essentially. Rather than relying on other people's direction, you will take your own, right? Because you already have that knowing, and you have everything you need to bring this change about, right? So it's like, okay, there's some things that are not within my control. There's some things that I'm not going to be able to change. There's some things I'm not going to be able to alchemize. But there's other things within this situation I can, and that's what's going to be my focus, right? And I'm not going to leave it up to other people to fix it anymore. And I'm not going to listen to advice that's contradictory, or even like the two sides of myself warring. I'm just going to come up with this clear vision straight down the middle that's, you know, clearly what I know to be the right decision for me, right? So yeah, clarifying your fears, the devil in reverse here, Capricorn energy. You have the Two of Cups in reverse again, and that's also in your hopes, so that's interesting. And you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So I think what you're afraid of, and what you know you're kind of lying to yourself about, is not wanting this connection. That's the illusion, that's clear. Not wanting this romantic connection, not wanting to really put your trust and faith into someone, if this is a business partner, to help you bring your passion project to life, because it's something that means that much to you. Not wanting to rely on someone else to help you get there, or to support you when you don't feel like you can trust them. For the relationship sense, or the romantic sense, if this is in regards to a romantic connection, I feel like you're lying about not wanting it. You do want it. And I feel like you haven't walked away. You may have tried to walk away in the past. You may have communicated that you walked away from this person and that it's over and that's it, everything's done and finished. But the reality is you haven't walked away. You're still very much caught in the emotions of this situation. But you're lying to yourself about it. That's the shadow self's deception at this time. And that's coming up to the forefront. Because you do want it. And I feel like I knew this would come up in your monthly reading. So if you haven't watched the shadow work video for March, mid to late March, check it out, because this is dealing with this situation right here. Okay, that's going to be relevant to some of you, so do take a look. Okay, so in regards to, I haven't clarified the hopes. Okay, got it now. Sorry, I missed that one for some reason. So in regards to your hopes, the Two of Cups in reverse, which is kind of like, are you really hoping for that, Leo? It's not looking like it, but you're hoping you can release this connection anyway, in some way. Clarifying that, you have the Ace of Wands here, and the Three of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this is starting to make more sense. The reason why you're kind of hoping that you can release yourself from this connection, that you don't rely on, coming together with someone else to help you make your vision come to light, is because you want to be singular and independent. You feel like if you allow someone else in, you're not going to have your independence anymore, which is not necessarily the case at all. And I feel like because you've been through some heartache recently, because you felt like there was some disappointment, for those of you who felt like you were rejected or lost an offer, a business offer or a career progression a chance at progressing your career, let me try and word that properly, you're still kind of nurturing the healing of that, you're still kind of working through the pain of that. So that's why you're kind of wanting to just find another way to do it by yourself, right, to move forward by yourself. In the relationship sense, I feel like, that you feel like you only need you at this time, and that's what you need to be focused on, and you want a new beginning for yourself, and you don't want anyone else involved in that, because you're still dealing with this heartache. You may have been cheated on, you may have been left for someone else, you may have left them for someone else or cheated on them, and you feel like you deserve to be alone, right? You deserve to have a new chance of redeeming yourself, but doing it alone. You have to be alone at this time because you don't have anything to offer this connection, right? And it could be the other way around. As I said, take it however it applies. Every situation is different, But either way, I feel like your focus is on you. And that's why you don't want this, even though we can see you do want this. So there's that. So that's something you're having to navigate through this time, Leo, deciphering what you truly want to do next. Because, like I said, this communication that's coming in is going to shatter your world. It's going to be like, oh my gosh, like, now what? Now what do I do? Because I can't really fix this situation in the way I hoped. I'm not getting the answers, or I'm not getting the outcome I expected. So it's like, now I'm having to revise this, right? But like I said, the potential outcome for this, okay, the Hierophant in reverse, you got the Ace of Swords, so this is powerful, okay? This is like truth. This is real communication. This is honesty. This is, taking action that's like real and true. And you have the Seven of Pentacles, so investment, okay? This is, showing up and showing that you have the goods to deliver. Like, I'm here, I'm willing to put the work in, I'm willing to put my energy into this, I'm willing to put my love into this, my time, my resources. Like, this is showing up really strong, okay? Possibly even against your better judgment, because as I said, I feel like for some of you, even though it's kind of like with this here, especially like your near future, it's like you're not going to get the answer you hoped for because of, the karmic balance that's playing out. However, you're going back to the drawing board and you're really focusing on yourself so you can come back to the situation and be like, okay, I've got what it takes now. And it's like, wow, okay. So it's like finding another way to get there by saying, okay, you're right. I'm not showing up with the right equipment. So give me five months, give me 5 weeks, give me 5 days, however it applies, or even 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days, who knows. And I will show you. I will come with the right energy. I'll come with showing that I have time for it. I'll have the resources to support it. And I'll have the enthusiasm, the passion, okay? So that could be in regards to a project or a relationship. So, Leo, that was pretty nuts. But, I hope this helps anyway in some way. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found it useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And we'll just see how this goes, I guess, in your next reading. I don't doubt that this energy is going to come up because there is a lot going on here. I know it's going to be full on for you. So just, do what you can, do your best. And, if you need a friendly ear, you know where to reach me. So for now, take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.